Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Day-Date 36 in platinum with Baguette diamond dial and bezel on an ice blue dial, all in platinum. Reference 128396TBR. I'll tell you a little bit about the history of the Day-Date, then tell you about where this watch stands in the lineup of other similar Day-Dates, then tell you about the case bezel dial bracelet movement, finally try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start with the history. The Day-Date came out in early 1950s, around 7 years after the introduction of the famous Datejust, and it's also known as the President watch. Why? Because it has, as they call it, the President bracelet, and because many presidents have literally wore the Day-Dates, such as like John F. Kennedy and many others have worn it. And President, as you can imagine, the name implies the top of the food chain. This is the best one, the head honcho. And if you compare it to their other parts of their collection, the Day-Date is their most complicated dress watch. It has both the day, Monday through Sunday, as well as the date, 1 through 31. Hence the name Day-Date, also known as the President. And it is their most prestigious line in terms of when it comes to dress watches. In fact, it is only made in precious metals. That means yellow gold, white gold, rose gold, and in platinum. They do not make their most prestigious line in anything else but precious metals, as opposed to their Datejusts, for example, which are made in steel and non-precious metals, such as steel and gold and such. But they reserve their highest collection for precious metals, and hence the name President. Not Vice President, not Manager, but the President. Okay, so that's a little bit about the history. Now, it came out in early 50s, which makes it approximately 70 years old by now, and they've gone through many different variations. And the most notable is that in approximately 10-15 years ago, I want to say I think it was early 2005 or so, they changed the size from the normal small Day-Date of 36 to 41, and now it's at 40 millimeters. So they came out with a large Day-Date for men. Actually, the Day-Date 36 was always for men, but they just didn't have a larger size, and in 2005 or so, they did come out with one. What you're looking at here is the Day-Date 36. So you can basically break the Day-Dates down into two categories, which brings us to our second topic, which is where this watch stands in the lineup of other similar Day-Dates. Now, the Day-Dates can be broken down in two sections by size. 36 generally for men with a smaller wrist, or women that like to wear larger watches. That's 36, or large size, which is size Day-Date 40, which is the largest size that they offer right now, and probably will be the only size I don't think they'll offer a larger size. Okay, with that said, you're looking at the Day-Date 36. Now, they make it in many precious metal. Platinum is the most precious of all the metals. It's the heaviest, it's the densest, it's the most brilliant, and it's the most expensive. Now, you can make this configuration with a Baguette bezel, diamond bezel, or you can do it with a fluted bezel. The fluted bezel, it's much cheaper. It's actually like half the price, or maybe 30-40% less. It's quite a bit less. But when you add the diamond bezel like this, especially the Baguette bezel, you can actually add circular diamonds, but they're not as spectacular and not as expensive either. When you add the Baguette bezel, you have really maxed out the Day-Date. You cannot get anything more expensive than the platinum added with Baguette bezel and Baguette dial. So this is the top dog. The one last thing you possibly could do is add diamonds on the bracelet, but I think that makes it a little bit too much. So for all intents and purposes, this really is the very top level. And with the retail price of almost $100,000, $94,500 to be exact, as of 24, that is pretty much the most expensive Day-Date that money can buy it. But by the way, if you want to buy this watch, you can buy it at the lowest price anywhere online and less than retail at jazztime.com. All right, that's a little bit about where this watch stands in the lineup. Basically, it's at the top. Now, time to move on to the watch itself. Let's start with the case. The case, as I told you, is made of platinum. Now, Rolex mixes its own precious metals in its own foundries, and they have a particular mix of the way they do it. And as they do it, they've done it to perfection, making the platinum very striking because of its silvery whiteness and vibrant luminosity. It's among the most densest and heaviest metals in the world, which basically means it's heavy, very heavy. That's a good thing. It could kind of be a bad thing in some ways. It could be kind of heavy on your arm in some ways, but that is a minor consideration when you have a platinum watch on your wrist. I don't think you would mind. And it's just a very beautiful metal. White gold looks a little bit more gray. Platinum looks a little bit more shiny and white, silvery, and of course it's heavier. Okay, now that's the case. 36 millimeters from my thumb to my index finger, and the entire case is made literally out of platinum. Okay, now let's move on to the bezel. What is special about the bezel? Well, I told you, they make the bezel also in circular diamonds, but it's not as fantastic, not as amazing, and doesn't match the dial as well, because the dial is actually made of baguettes, and it's quite a bit more expensive to have the baguettes, but you can see it has an invisible setting, which makes it look really beautiful, the way that the baguettes are set into the bezel. It looks just very flush. Even though it is diamonds, it doesn't look as blingy as you might think, especially with the baguette diamonds as opposed to the circular diamonds. It really looks like it's flush and should be this way. Now, you can leave it up to Rolex to put the finest diamonds that money can buy or that people can find, and they have them set by the expert gemologist who set it to the correct orientation, position, regularity, strength, and proportion, such that when it's all said and done, it creates a sparkling symphony to enhance the watch and enchant the wearer. Okay, so that is the bezel. Let's move on to the dial. Dial also here is quite special. It's an exclusive dial. Why is it exclusive? Rolex only uses this ice blue dial on platinum watches. So this light blue pastel dial, they don't put this on any other dial. So you can be assured, if you see somebody with this dial or you see it on any watch, you know that this watch is platinum. They don't put it on white gold or any steel or something like that. If there is this ice blue dial, boom, it means the watch is platinum. That's how you know. And they do that on the Platinum Day-Date that you see. They do it on the Daytona, which is also amazing watch. And they do it on the Perpetual 1908, which also, again, amazing watch. All those watches are platinum, and they use this dial color. The hour markers, again, are baguette, which means they are shaped like a baguette. Baguette, the food, the bread, is like a long rectangular thing, and that's what these look like. So baguette diamonds, that's where I guess the name would come from. If it were an American, it would be a hot dog diamond, actually. Okay, anyways, so I think it looks quite beautiful. Now let's move on to the bracelet. The bracelet is a president bracelet. That's no surprise. They only make the day-dates out of these president bracelets. They actually used to make them, by the way, out of oyster bracelets, I think, on the 36, but I don't think they did very well. In fact, I know they didn't do well because we had to discount them when we sold them. But the president bracelet is 3 semicircular links across, beautifully done. It's iconic. It's one of the most beloved bracelets ever created, and it's on this day-date president. Let's move on to the movement here. The movement is a 3255. It's upgraded from the previous generation, and it has a power reserve of 70 hours beyond the industry standard, which actually kind of is becoming an industry standard now that Rolex is at 70 hours. It means you can put the watch down 3 days, pick it up, it still works. You can't see the movement anyways. Trust me, it's great. Let's try this watch on my wrist. Now, I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, I have a 7.5 inch wrist. And as you can see, the watch, it looks a little bit small on me. I want to recommend it for those people who have a wrist size of 7 inches or smaller, or women who have a wrist size of 6 inches or larger. Why? Because if you have a wrist size outside of that, then you probably should choose a different size watch. But for those who have a between 6 and 7 inch wrist, this is a perfect watch for you. Granted, of course, you have $100,000 to spare, and you can buy this watch, and also you like the style. Now, what is my opinion? Well, the Day-Date is the top of the food chain when it comes to Rolex. and watches in general. And of the top of the food chain, this is the absolute top. There's literally nothing you can do that's more expensive than this one for the Platinum Day-Date. And the color, everything, I love it. The ice blue baguette, the baguette bezel. I mean, this is a baller watch. You know, you wear this one, and I don't know, it's a top level watch. So look, if you want to buy this watch at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.